There's just so many champions I would take over this Viego. Trundle's much better than people realize, and Trundle's specifically fantastic against Viego in the way that Viego needs some time to scale. Trundle is the ultimate 1v1 champion probably in the entire game, right? And especially at early levels. And so Trundle directly counters what Viego wants to do. He can go into his lane and do whatever. Jax is a counter pick to Tryndamere. Tryndamere does have some tools. Basically, the counter-strike should never hit Tryndamere, right? Tryndamere always has the onus to be able to start going in. At the very, very end of the game, Jax can go and just like start trading and then counter-strike through the duration of the Tryndamere ult, and then the stun is just long enough to get that damage on the far side. So it is a counter in the very beginning of the game and at the very end of the game. Tryndamere spikes a little bit in the middle, so it's kind of like a sine wave that it's kind of like a wave that has a moment up high. Trundle is a direct counter to Viego. Victor is not as strong a champion as Ryze, but has the range advantage. The bot lane, I'll take Tahm Kench to Nautilus any day, all day. When it comes to actually positioning for a fight, it's easier to play Tryndamere than it is for Jax. Trundle's obviously can have a hell of a game. And then you have like the range advantage from these two, right? This entire team is low range. Well, Zeri kind of breaks the rules sometimes, but she's not high damage. If you get into like a straight fight, Jinx is going to deal more damage than Zeri. Zeri's much tankier, and same thing with Bjergsen, or same thing with Ryze. So as far as like keeping range, having two frontliners that can keep Viego from getting to the backline, Cloud9 wins this draft, but it's not by much. Like both teams have positive things. Viego to me is still very hard. It's kind of like a Kali. Viego's very hard to assess because it scales directly on how good the player is and how good the other champions are. But you also have to scale and picking. I love the Trundle pick so much into this that I bet that Blabber's just going to take this game over, is my guess. Now, it would be up to Santorin to, like, find a way to throw a curveball, right? Nautilus at level 1, stronger than Tahm Kench, but only by a little bit. Zeri much stronger than Jinx at 1. Ryze is much stronger than Victor at 1. Jax much stronger than Tryndamere at 1. So, like, if this team can get early level advantage, right, find a way to... I think the onus is on Team Liquid to open up the map, find a way to vertical jungle so you keep the Viego away from the Trundle, and then you say, Trundle, let's see, I would want to do it on the top side. Zeri has plenty of escapes, Nautilus can escape as well. So I would want Team Liquid as red team here to do this invade, okay? So I want them to come here. You kind of hide in this bush. You move in together. Check the boxes. You can kind of almost go into a lane swap style where you get the ward here and a ward here. This should cover everything that Santorin needs to do to vertical jungle, right? He can take 1, 2, 3, come back, take these, come back, scuttle. And then you play with the Nautilus Zeri. You just let them push into you. Nautilus can always Spider-Man to a wall. Zeri can always jump over this wall or this wall. So this is what I want from them. So the thing is, Zeri's not going to be able to... She's not going to be able to exacerbate her advantage that she would normally have, right? So her laning is just fundamentally broken, but if you use the power of her laning, then you can end up pushing the wave, and then they'll be able to freeze here. And in vertical jungling, you don't want this, right? And what you're going to have to worry about is after Trundle goes 3 camps... They're going to crash the second wave. So Trundle goes 3 camps. Second wave, they push in. This comes in, and at 240, they can come out here. What was their mid wave? Victor can easily have the push on Ryze. He could even push wave 2 earlier than they push their because they're going to let this stack up, slow push, and then crash it in. Victor can push this wave and then roam into the river, and they have potentially a 4 versus 2 in the bot wave. Nautilus and Zeri will have to play very, very safe. Although I still like this because then you can have Santorin go and try to play through the Tryndamere. Not the easiest gank in the world. Like that E is on a pretty low cooldown. But Jax versus Tryndamere should have the advantage if they can do this, and if they can hold where Team Liquid, I guess we'll give them the dark color. If Team Liquid can control this much map, then they'll be great, right? And this, even if it's just this, it'll be fantastic. But if Trundle can infiltrate and get into Viego's face, then he'll mash it up. Use his Bone Club and smash it. I'm actually very curious to watch this game now. I just want to watch the first couple minutes now.
It'll be so exciting to see if you can neutralize the matchup early, because if you can get past those early items, get to even an armor item or two on that Jax, you can outlast that Undying Rage and really take over in the side lane.
I'm so excited that we get this battle-heavy top lane matchup. This is such an exciting head-to-head between these two teams, and my eyes have been on the top lane mainly just because Summit and Whippo are so fun.
Honestly, even if they got invaded, if I'm Blabber, so I'd make that play in the bot lane, right? So when you're in vertical jungle, you just get to do that. You get to make the 4v2 or at least the 3v2 play on bot. And if you do it right, you can even keep them off of level 2. So you can have level 2 and a jungler at 3 versus 2 level 1s under turret. All right, let's see. They're fanning out. 5-man stack. Let's see it. 5-man. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, now they're going this way. Oh, wow. That's some study. Oh, see, but now they back off. I hate this. You're like, hey, we research something about Trundle. Like, he always likes to go mid, so let's time exactly how long we get there, and then we can flash engage on the player that's fanning out. But so I love that they do the research for that. I don't like that they say, oh shoot, it failed, and now let's like branch out ourselves, because branch out goes into the favor of Cloud9.
You're just looking for a 5-man rush down mid with Nautilus home guards, trying to find a flash hook, but mixing that in every once in a while keeps your opponents guessing. They have got to pay respect to the fact that you're willing to go for that.
That's advanced game theory.
At level 1, sometimes it works. I think it was pull off against Suzuki.
Ooh, he's got no Hex Flash though. What is this?
So this is going to be a really exciting one. Core down a flash, Blabber down a flash as well.
And alright, so he's got the stopwatch. So when you get stopwatch, it tends to mean that you want to prioritize Herald. I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. At that point, Trundle's going to be strong enough versus Viego. Nice pickup.
And you have to think about if jungle intervention comes down, right? If you have a 2v2 around mid with Trundle and Viego show up and
I don't really like this from Blabber. Trundle should crush Viego here. Viego's just faster clear too. You're just giving him a free scaling. This is one of the few windows you can use to kill this champion, apart from just having a lot of team CC, which they don't have. Yo, Tom Kench, good luck ever holding down a Viego. Same thing, Trundle. I like the Glacial Augment from Core JJ for 2 reasons. One, just I think it's better. For 2, I think it's better against a Trundle, because otherwise every time that you go in, then he's going to pick up your Aftershock stacks. So let's see, Trundle just 7 camp and back. Okay, let's see what he does now. He's got to have a plan. Viego's faster on the map. Looking at Gromp spawning at 415. So see, first on respawn, they both get Gromp right away. This is actually where Trundle kind of catches up because Viego got to the Gromp before it was up. Dude, how did this happen? What did I miss here? He hasn't even used his potion. Top lane, almost full health, out of corrupting pot stacks. I may have to change my mind about who's got the stronger lane. Okay. Alright, so Summit gets to crash, Trundle gets to invade. Off this, he's got the health and wave advantage. Jax is going to have to teleport. Tryndamere doesn't have TP. Ooh, Bobo. They've got the wave coming in. Can you outplay this? Probably not. Waits for them to hit. There you go. He's sick. He's so good. He's so freaking good. Wait for them to hit you before you turn on the counter-strike.
Second up that counter-strike, landing the stun onto Blabber there, who didn't quite have his flash, by the way, so it did end up actually mattering.
Yup, Blabber could have gotten away out. Yeah, he would have been able to avoid the last turret shot if the flash was available. Whippo outplays it. Let's take another look at how this one happened as Blabber went up for the play.
Yeah, so doesn't have his flash because of the level 1.
What's Viego getting in return for this? Viego is really trying to avoid Trundle at all costs. Oh, Blabber. Alright, so check that out. There's another mechanic that Trundle was trying to use there where if you use the pillar, you can interrupt the jump. So the jump's coming, you can knock him up out of it and displace and keep them aside. So he actually missed that as well. Oh boy. 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. And Bjergsen held the aggro that whole time. Alright, what do they get on the other side? We get a push in mid lane. Fudge does not take a plate. You get a push in bot lane. 630, 640. We're going to take backs from the bot. I might expect them to take this and turn it into a Herald Prio. If you can take... Alright, so bot stays. If they can take multiple plates here, and then Winsome can get a back off right after the 7 o'clock or the 7-minute wave, he can show up at the Herald, and then Blabber's much advantaged there. Blabber dies in that gank and he still hits 6 at pre-7. This is something like Blabber does better than anyone else. He understands which waves to pick up, which waves to like fan through, and you take your strongest champion in the early game and you accelerate that process. You make sure that they have the extra resources, right? Because your carry shifts through the game. In the early game, it's just definitely your jungler. Jungler's first to 2, first to 3, first to 4, first to 1,000 gold, first to 3,000 gold. They hit 5 at about the same time as the mid laners, and they hit 6 just after. And they can hit it before if a laner dies. Blabber is the most time efficient jungler, for sure. I mean, I remember watching last year with Olaf. They had it down to an art of pathing through, finishing, getting to Scuttle at 315, taking Scuttle, pathing through mid. They would burst the mid wave together, which would allow the mid laner to roam as well, but also give that extra experience to Blabber. And Blabber would be hitting level 6 at 620. And it's just like... The other guy, if they're lucky, they're hitting it at 7. And then he's just steamrolling. Look at that, early Warden's Mail. Investing for the later Frozen Heart. Like, that's all it takes to swap this. Yeah, he's definitely the best farmer. I mean, when it comes down to mechanics, right? Like farm speed does come down to mechanics. Oh, they're coming in. They didn't rotate. They rotate a Jinx Bomb. Dodge it. Zeri's coming over. You'll be stronger in a moment. Why are they retreating left? They should be moving right towards the Zeri. There you go. You want this fight. There's no Jinx. Finish it. Keep going. Why are you cutting backwards? I'm just going to say misplay. Tryndamere ult is a hell of a spell. This game's over. Not even memeing. Like 2K, multiple plates, mid's getting plates, bot gets 3 plates and solo experience, and they get Herald that they're still going to be able to use. I don't know. Did they actually get the Herald? It's like right here. You do need to actually burst Tryndamere. Like, you want to burst him. You want to get that ultimate out and then switch targets. Right now, they're just ignoring him. So he's actually ripping into them the whole time. And they never got the Viego reset. Hans actually placed himself on the other side of the Herald. Was the call to try to get Herald? Like, that was just bad. That was really bad, actually. Dude, Jax is just so strong here. This is a good matchup to watch, right? Like, you're watching 2 of the top 20 players in the world, maybe. Well, I mean, Hullbreaker nerfs did not affect Tryndamere. The thing is, it's scaling, right? You just need to choose what you're going to go. And Gale Force has always been fantastic on Tryndamere. It is nice because you get this duality as a Tryndamere when you go Gale Force, right? You're still a split pushing monster. You're not as tanky, but you can still get away from people. Like, Hullbreaker, to me, did not make sense on Tryndamere. When you go Gale Force, you have offense, you have defense, you can team fight, you can split push. So you have a lot of options. Why, Santorin, what are you doing? You guys have to do that together. They're having split calls, man. All right, let's see. 2 plates. Trundle's a ferocious turret taker. And now he's going to drop the Herald. There you go. They'll finish it. Bite deals unmitigated damage to turrets, so they easily get the 3 plates down. Trundle is the best turret taker from the jungle. Smart choice by Bjergsen to back out. Not a huge fan of the Sunder on Viego here, even though it is the best item for him. So yeah, this is where Trundle can just take over, or Trundle and Tryndamere, right? Both of them can just dive so well. It's a little bit aggressive though, too far. This is what Team Liquid was talking about when they can say, like, we can just let Cloud9 kind of come to us sometimes. But that being said, like, the fact is they never press the envelope. They never push the envelope. And so when you get these big team fights, Cloud9, who is much scrappier and who's much more willing to be in that sort of scenario, just like 100 Thieves, they're more likely to succeed because they're more practiced, more rehearsed. If I'm going to talk about like what Team Liquid can do, you have to do both what's best for this game and what's best for your long term. And when we're talking about winning a North American championship, sure, they can be the first place team by just letting every game come to them. But if you never practice the scraps against the best teams, then when it comes to Worlds where every team is a best team, you're just going to get gapped the way that they did last year. And this is probably a preview of the finals. You have to think that these are the best teams. 100 Thieves was a completed roster that was good and doing well as Golden Guardians, and then they replaced their worst player with the best player available to them on the market in Abadage. But Abadage has not been playing well. So that team, despite being good and Closer being world-class and Someday being world-class, Abadage should be world-class, but if he's underperforming, then not so much. And also, like, the Huhi FBI combo hasn't been performing the way that they normally do. I mean, they are the shining point for that team, and they can play through bot, and they can use Closer to come through these games, but really it's falling apart at the seam in the middle with Abadage not playing as well as he should be. And, like, the other mids are stronger, to be fair, right? Like, Jojo is strong, Tukui is strong, Bjergsen is strong. None of these guys were in the league last year. Strong play. Notice that they keep Fudge here and they rotate Berserker to mid. All right, let's see. They're going for fast back rather than trying to stick around to hold anything. Ryze will get at least half this turret down, but they're trading it for Rift Herald. But you gotta move, yeah, exactly. You gotta, as Tryndamere, you gotta give way to the Jax here. But they've got Jinx, they're fast rotate. Where's Viego going? Why is Nautilus still bottom? I don't like either of these plays. Oh, he's using it for shutdown? Okay. I like this play. Oh, this is alright. They get the teleport. They say, alright, we'll just take 60% of his health and we'll back out. But smart by Tryndamere, right? Just survive a little bit. Oh, the bait. The bait. The bait. Well played, Liquid. Group up right on the tri-bush. Send out the Jax, who's the only person that they know is there, to go pick up the ward that they know is there. They get the read. They get the read that the enemy's waiting to try to jump him. Yeah, they'll bring the whole team over for this. Nautilus coming over. I don't like the answer. You can go for... Jax can go for this... There's the ult. Alright, you've got him now. Oh, Tom Gench! No! Good block by Santorin. Jax is so strong. Gosh, Bwipo's insane. Dude, that rocket came from fog and Bwipo was still able to dodge it in just a lane's worth of vision. I like Liquid's vision, right? Again, same sort of thing. Let's just put vision on our side, the beaches of the river. Make them come to us. If they want to overstep, like, they're always going to be willing for this, or potentially giving this. I want to see how they approach the end game here, right? And the big difference is that Jax has teleport, right? So no matter what they do, he can choose to answer Tryndamere, or he can choose to continue pushing and saying, as long as we have vision. And look at the amount of vision that they've placed here in the center of the southern quadrant and on the Krugs. These are extra wards that help Jax split with impunity. Tahm Kench is just so strong in this game. Like, low-range champions, Trundle as well. Everything's going to be low-range. You need to be able to win as a 4-stack, and Viego's not the best in a 4-stack. He almost wants to be like another split. Like, Ryze is going to be the other one in the side lane. So you're playing Zeri, Nautilus, Viego. Viego's not the best champion in a 1-3-1. Alright, so here they're in position. Viego's just going straight up mid lane. Protect the Zeri. Huh, he got it. Big opportunity for Fudge here. Ryze getting tanked up. Alright, so here you go. Power of Evil. Pay attention when you're the only AP team on your team by Shadow Flame, not Void Staff. Please. Please. Once, shame on you. Twice, it's happened. Shame on me. Right? As a coach, like, if he does that again, he's just saying, like, ah, this team's entirely about me. I have to do everything myself. And, like, that's a toxic mentality. I actually was apoplectic watching him buy Void Staff again as the only AP on his team again. And the second time he was like 0-2. He wasn't even big. The first time he was big, right? I could see like, oh, okay, you know, they're going to start buying MR. But even then, be big, get bigger with Shadow Flame. Get Spell Pen, right? You're the biggest guy in the game. You're spending 7K before anyone else. Be huge. Alright, Viego's going to have the most boring game ever now. You just have to protect the Zeri, look for the rotations. Ryze and Jack's going to split. Are they going to fully commit to the split push? That's going to be the question, because there's only 1-1 on Dragons. So you can actually say, like, yeah, Dragon's just not going to be a win condition. We're just going to play, and if you ever push Dragon, we push mid. If you ever commit to that area, then we commit to Baron, right? And you can constantly like just play a counter. All right, they should make this play into Baron. They should go straight Baron, right? Make Jinx. Well, all right. Look at the spam question mark pings. There's a miscommunication again there. You watch blue team, like I'm staring at the mini map, right? See who goes over. My guess is they're gonna send Trundle over to solo the dragon now. Yeah, you can put Victor near there as well, harass the Jax. By sending just one person, you don't give up the Baron pressure, or I should say the coverage of Baron. Very good job by Cloud9. That is something that they haven't been good at, and that was a very good call. Give top tier 2. You're weak on the west side. Go send Trundle to solo dragon. Victor can come cover. Jinx can come cover. Team Liquid could have doubled down on the Gambit, right? They could have actually bluffed Baron there to make it so that Jinx can't shop. Because Jinx is now on 2.5 items. She's going to be very, very strong. Wait, is this a Blade of the Rune King coming out? For Zeri? This is an item that we've wanted people to build, and Black Cleaver. We'll see if that's the build to go between them. But it gives you a lot more damage over time. And then the Black Cleaver, right, you can start shredding for your team, especially with the multiple Q pokes. I like that they're bringing Bjergsen and Bwipo together. 2 both with teleports. 4 people down to answer. How come they're not in position? I don't like Zeri's position there. Maybe this is just a mission, go down strong to let Nautilus get some wards down. Could easily be the case. Nautilus is building Zhonya's? That can't be right. They're saying that we want to armor stack and just match wave clear with Victor. But Zhonya's... One of the issues is that Tryndamere, like... if Nautilus engages on Tryndamere, Trind's like, okay, I'll just kill you, right? You can't survive the amount of damage I have. Especially with the Glacial Augment build. I don't like Zhonya's, though. I actually really don't like it. How are they ever going to press up here? They've got the one teleport on Fudge. Like, they should be weak to the split. Both Ryze and Jax can play against Tryndamere. Ryze specifically with Everfrost and Fimbulwinter and Frozen Heart, right? Like, just tank Ryze should never really die to a Tryndamere. My big issue is that Viego just feels like an outdraft. Like, he got outdrafted here. If you're going to go 1-3-1, he is not strong. Viego wants to play on pick comp so he can get the reset. Actually, little known fact, even though PD builds out of longswords and Runon's and Mortal Reminder don't, they, Mortal Reminder kind of does. Mortal Reminder actually has better offensive stats than PD. PD does give the kiting ability, though, which is obviously huge. Especially with the way that they want to play this fight, right? They want Jinx to be able to step up and deal damage to lower range Nautilus Viego. I don't mind Void Staff third after you buy 2 pen items. That's fine. Yeah, the Jinx build is good. Well, especially right when you're the 4 stack. Or even in the 3. Their 3 is just significantly better. Tahm Kench Trundle Jinx is much, much stronger than Viego, Nautilus, Zeri. And so if those three ever fight, oh no, you got picked? That's like the one thing you can't allow to happen. Why? Were they trying to like make a play to engage 4v3 in the mid? Like, it's completely off suit. Why would you make that play? Like, who, in what world do you make that call? It doesn't really make sense. Bjergsen's teleporting, forces the answer from Fudge. Good job by Fudge saying, we want to fight, we want to come straight over to Dragon, don't let anyone get this for free, we're even going to fight you for the Scuttle. Bjergsen, it feels like an overestimation there. Instead, I actually would have liked him to teleport top, say, I know that you guys are going to come down to Dragon, I'm going to go and push out this top wave, threaten it. That play was awful. He's tilting because he got gapped too hard. I don't know about that. He's crushing the Tryndamere. This is just... I just don't like the fact... I don't like that they're going for that play anyways. There's no world where you want that. And now you've got, like, in the same play, you've got Rise Tryndamere. Wait, what? Where is it? Where? Where? Whippo. Where did he even die? I'm looking for his corpse. I don't see... It's oh, between T1, T2? Holy shit. Right here? C9 does have better players. And they push the push the envelope more. Crits, ult. C9 has Summit. Yeah, Summit's insane. Could be a dangerous beast. There's the flash. Oh, it got armed. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, oh. God, Berserker played Santorin. I feel bad for Santorin. So let me go back to the draft, because this draft was awful. I should say the Viego pick was awful. The other elements were great. Okay, like this part is all fantastic. You give Jinx. You don't need to pick Zeri till later. You prioritize. Not one of the things I don't like about taking Nautilus first. Like, yes, you can always get Zeri on R3, but then you have to take Zeri on R3, right? So it kind of pigeonholes your draft. I like what their answer right here. You know, Tahm Kench is a hard counter to Nautilus and is one of the best champions to pair with Jinx, and is better with Jinx than Thresh when playing against Nautilus. This part of the draft, though, totally fine. If you're Team Liquid, totally fine. So let's see. Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, Poppy. Wow. Poppy. I mean, Poppy is one of the champions that can slow down a Zeri, but like, this is a preemptive ban. Why would you do that? This is where they picked Viego, huh? Gragas, Lee, Volibear. Like, I would pick Trundle 10 times out of 10 blind in this situation. It's just an absolutely fantastic pick. It's a tier above everything else already. And you picked Viego, which gets countered by Trundle and is worse in a team that has Ryze. I hate this pick. R4. Like, there are obviously some play things that happen, but like when you look at the end game, what the game is going to shape out as, this R4 pick of Viego is a punt. It's a punt. You can't build your team comp around this. Whippo's been playing Hullbreaker Graves and Akshan and top lane dominant, lane kingdom against Summit. Maybe they have some plan to make something else happen, but the other thing I don't like about Viego is, like, if your team is saying, yeah, Cloud9, come to us, why would you ever pick Viego? Ugh. So, all right, so I will say this. The actual result of this match probably does not matter, okay? And this is what I'm going to get at. And this is important. The result of this match doesn't matter, right? The seeds only matter if you think that playing the third place team is going to matter. And if these two teams say we are so much stronger than EG and 100 Thieves that it's not going to matter, we don't care. We're going to have to play them in the playoffs anyways. We can show them that we have Viego, that we are willing to pick a Viego in an R4 spot like this, so that in the playoffs, in games that matter, they have to consider it. That is my only condition on which the Viego pick here is acceptable. And, like, that would be advanced game theory. That would be great. When they banned Gragas, they sort of advertised that they're picking Tryndamere. I don't know. Santorin loves Trundle, too. See, alright, so Nocturne, if you play a 1-3-1 and you're anticipating Jax, Nocturne's freaking fantastic, right? You're going to have teleports. You're anticipating that they're picking Tryndamere because they banned Gragas. As the team with more teleports, you can make more plays, do things in the darkness, turn out the lights. Then you also have Nocturne Ryze, which is a very good combo, right? Ryze can flash EW to root you in place while Nocturne gets his Nightmare tether on you. There's just so many champions I would take over this Viego. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep it surreal. Peace.